Hello again. This is Bailey from Code 6 Movie Time Podcast, where my co-hosts and I talk about random movies. This week's episode includes a special guest and lots of beer, candy, and pizza. I'm telling you this just so you know why there are little sounds made throughout the recording. The oven beeping, wrappers everywhere. It was madness, but it helped us keep it a good time. Unfortunately, something happened to the actual audio about halfway through, so I was only able to salvage about 30 minutes of it. Sorry. Next time I'll be sure to have a backup. Until then, enjoy!
Welcome, audience members, to Code 6. My name is Micah Perulis, and I'm here. My fellow podcastees, do y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Bailey.
Who's a bitch?
Isaiah.
Who is neutral. And guest star.
Sean, who is Bailey's husband. That fucking bitch.
Yes. So today we are going to be reviewing the movie Pokémon, the first movie Mewtwo Strikes Back, starring Veronica Taylor's Ash Ketchum. All that ass. Ash Ketchum.
And Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
What?
for the songs and the soundtrack?
Yeah, Christina Aguilera is the one who did the fucking songs for this movie. Like, it blew her mind. When the end credits were coming along, she's like, oh, this is some shit Christina Aguilera knockoff. And then she saw the credits and she fucking lost it. You could not contain it.
This is literally what I did. So I was holding my notebook, and this is my notebook, and I was sitting right there, and I'm literally like, what?
Ow.
Oh my god, y'all!
She just literally threw the notebook at Sean.
Yes.
Well, no,
not the
I threw
notebook.
it across the room, but he happened to be right
In
there.
the way this time.
He was sitting with me on the couch.
Nice victim blaming.
God, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's a joke. Jesus.
Is a spiritual leader in life, thank you.
So yeah.
So this is, starring Veronica Taylor, Rachel Lillis as Misty, and Jesse, and Eric
James.
Stewart as James and Brock.
Eric.
I'm gonna be honest, these are all names I've never heard before.
Clearly, because, you know.
Yeah,
Never.
So Isaiah and I did not grow up with Pokemon. I know very little about it. I think he knows less.
That's accurate.
Micah and Sean.
Coincidentally, who had
everything.
no friends growing up and were the nerds of the school.
Cool.
Yay!
I'm the winner. I
We
had two friends.
Damn it. Guess that's just me.
It's okay. That one of them's dead now.
Yeah.
What?
What?
We can move on from that. So, anyway.
We don't understand either, so
Yes.
you're as lost as Micah and I.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Okay.
So, how are we beginning this?
Initial thoughts.
I want to hear from the non-Pokemon fans. Isaiah.
Well, not growing up with Pokemon, you don't have that, I guess, nostalgia. Like, oh, this is my childhood growing up thing. So I don't watch it with as much appreciation as probably you and Sean.
Yeah.
And so it's very cheesy. And
No, even to us, it's fucking cheap.
Oh,
yeah, so
it's
but
pretty gay.
that's what I'm saying. But at least to you guys, you have that like affinity for it somewhere down deep. No, it's like me. I'm just like I don't know how to.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel the same way when watching the Seahawks play. Like, it's just very...
So, yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was kind of cheesy.
The first thing I wrote was, I feel like if this would have the same effect on me if there was an existential clone crisis in the Smurfs movie. Like, I hated it. I hated it so much. It's about clones.
Well,
And existential,
No,
like,
actually,
racial
well, yes.
stuff.
I have to say, my biggest qualm with Mewtwo, like, as a whole, is like, oh, we're gonna create the perfect ultimate Pokemon. Let's give him tennis ball fingers. Like, that is the ultimate
Dying.
I would
agree.
say they look more like ping pong balls.
Whenever they zoomed in on his hands and he was going like
And he was
bringing
going-
his fingers
yeah.
in and out, I couldn't focus on anything that was being said.
Fingering
I was
game
like,
strong.
This looks really weird.
It took me out of the movie.
It was strange looking.
Yeah, they're very sexual, too.
What? Wait,
No? That's just...
Okay.
Stand on that.
Oh, okay.
Who came first,
Well, I get
Mewtwo
balls, but, like-
or Frieza from Dragon Ball Z? Because that's literally the same character.
Frieza.
Frieza
DBZ was out longer, I think, at
Yeah.
this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's trash.
Oh my god!
It's like that sealed it. That Bailey's like, well, maybe if it inspired something better. Oh no, they just stole it from someone else.
So let's just
Well, no. That said, the framework for Mewtwo was set out like when the Pokemon series came out in 1996. So like, I don't know. I feel like we'd have to actually do research, which I don't feel like doing.
The movie came out in Japan in '98, and then November 10th of '99 in the States. Yeah. And to be fair, the Japanese / worldwide version was much better than the American version. Cause,
as always.
Yeah, usually.
Well, I said, shit on this movie all you want. The localization team was fucking incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when they're getting on the ship, when they're getting on the Viking ship with Jesse and James and Meowth tied to the front, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't think there were Vikings anymore." And then Ash clips, "Oh, they're mostly from Minnesota."
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, that was some good localizing.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quote.
Like the Minnesota Vikings. I don't even play football.
That was amazing. I enjoyed that as a...
Yeah.
I did like... I really liked how the entire sequence of, like, creating Mewtwo. I loved the cuts and the actual animation of it, and I was like, oh great, if this is how the whole thing's gonna be, I'm fucking in. And no it wasn't. And
the cold open's always better than the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. The opening of that was pretty good. I was like, okay, this is
what's confusing though is I was telling Isaiah about this earlier, is the timeline is very muddled, and you can't tell from the start when Mewtwo was created to he has his own castle all of a sudden within the first 10 minutes. You're like, what the hell happened?
No, it was like 6 weeks, I think.
6 weeks?
Yeah,
I don't know.
How do you build?
No, because well, first off, psychic powers, he doesn't have to explain shit. But second off,
all right.
They were like, oh, like during the huge typhoon, and everyone's in like that building right by the dock. I like how I'm pointing like the dock's right.
The dock, yeah.
But anyway, the dock, yeah, right fucking there, right?
Sean talks with his face.
Anyway, like when they're in there,
gestures.
the Officer Jenny, one of like 8 billion, which is my favorite. No, they all look the same. That's the running joke.
Pause. Like, you would think that they would know the missing Nurse Joy whenever they saw her, since they've seen a million up to that point.
Well, that's just it. Is Officer Jenny, like, she was saying, like, oh, the Pokemon Center would be up, but unfortunately, the Nurse Joy from there has been missing for, I think they said, like, 6 weeks. So, like, that's how they set the framework for it. Is they said, like, oh, she's been missing for that long, so you know it's been that long. At least. Yeah, at least that long.
And Brock's dumbass is like, oh, she looks familiar. Like, it's like, you flirt with every single... You're the Chase Reigns, our coworker, of Pokemon here. But, no, I'm talking about before that, though, when he was created, and then he went with Giovanni, who was Power Hungry top.
Yeah.
And then escapes to his own island, creating that shit.
By the way, can we talk about Giovanni for a second there, where he's like, oh, I'm going to make the world's most powerful Pokemon even stronger. And once I've done that, I'm gonna talk the maddest shit to him. Like,
what was the only thing that brought me joy during Mewtwo's whole thing was it reminded me of Parks and Rec with Super Baby. And then just, what if Super Baby becomes too powerful? That was the only thing that brought me
That's so realistic. Like, what? You need Sun Persian out there to, cat scratch his ass? No.
But yeah, no, like, he specifically helped him get even more powerful. He's like, yeah, no, you're my bitch now. And he's like,
no,
bro, what are you doing?
That was confusing.
And then he acted surprised when Mewtwo's like, bruh, fuck that. Like,
Sean, it's like Bane in Dark Knight Rises.
Your thing just gives you power.
Do you feel in charge?
Oh, fuck. We need to Photoshop that, do fucking Bane quotes over Mewtwo. And we give it back to you, the people.
That would be fantastic. Make that happen.
Okay, so...
crashing this planet with no survivors.
Yeah, that was Mewtwo's plan.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Alright, humans, I'll let you live.
I asked so many questions during this. So are there no regular animals?
No, it's all Pokemon.
It's only Pokemon
Although
animals?
in the descriptions of the Pokemon cards, they're like, oh yeah, Pidgey feeds on worms. And
but there are worm Pokemon, and so just fucking...
But that was not in the first generation.
So was Mew supposed to be like a cat at all?
Kind of. Like
It's
a little?
Like,
His name was Mew. Her name was Mew.
their name.
Their name was
Their
Mew?
name
its
was
name was Mew. Like I feel like
Their-
that implies
name.
cat-like. I don't know why. I
Well,
just
it's because it's
assumed.
kind of like meow.
Yeah.
And it
It's
makes
like
meow
it's like a
noise.
hairless
Let's
cat.
go with cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote down, I love how the movie was entirely exposition. Either all of the characters saying exactly to what's happening to clear everything up, or Mewtwo's psychic abilities literally explaining what's happening as it's happening. And then I wrote, the narration gave a shit ton of exposition, and so did Sean.
Yep.
Because, like, I was lost the entire fucking time. I'm like,
I
what's
was-
that?
Well, because
What's
the
that?
plot was changed for the American version, like I
Oh.
said earlier,
Oh.
and the narrations were added for both Mewtwo and the overall movie by the
4 Kids
directors.
Entertainment.
Yeah, 4 Kids. Which I hate 4 Kids for
Americans
that.
Oh, no, I
ruin
love this.
everything.
They're-
I just, speaking on this, anybody else huge fans of blue-haired exposition lady? Like, literally her sole purpose was exposition.
In what?
On the dock. The lady with the blue hair, where literally her sole purpose is like to explain.
Oh my God, yes.
that she was
They are Pokemon
only
masters.
there.
Yo, I have it
She was
down.
only there to talk about to introduce the whole tiers
Yes,
concept.
yes,
that was
yes.
her only purpose. She only shows up for like 15 seconds.
They
to
follow
explain
their
that.
hearts, which makes them Pokemon masters, as they're like threatening their lives on
Yeah.
a giant ass storm.
So did the majority of them fucking die? Like
No, they all made them.
No, only like
no.
4 people did.
No, but they only
there
showed
were
4
like
left.
there were like 100 people and like 4.
No,
made it.
they only showed 4 people leaving.
Oh really?
They're like they're the only 4.
oh
that
okay.
can
So the
make
other
it.
people are just giant
Also,
pandas. Okay.
pause how the Ace trainer
I would've
was
preferred
talking
Big
about
Bang.
writing in on his he has a Pidgeot and then he references
As a Pidgeotto. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this dude?
Oh, okay. So to help with the uncultured plebs here,
Basically,
so there's a Pokemon called Pidgey. If you've played Pokemon Go, you see it everywhere forever. And it has 3 evolutions. Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot. The guy had the Pidgeot, which was like the highest evolution.
final form.
The best bird.
Over 9,000.
The biggest bird. He
Makes
had,
sense.
he had the best bird.
It fits with the theme because everyone
Anyway.
had the best version of the Pokemon.
But
over
so
there.
he had it, but then he called it the second one. So it was like,
Yeah, the mid form.
yeah, he had the biggest, but he called it the mid.
Now
so
the
it was-
movie sucks.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah, that's the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, fucking plot holes. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like calling the
fuck balls,
Panthers the
man.
Seahawks. Sorry, are we on to that?
So-
I keep
Look,
going
you
in.
talk more about sports and these things than I do.
I don't. I'm sorry. It
Sports ball.
So what was the plot of this movie?
was basically about Mewtwo finding
friendship
himself.
stops clones.
Basically. And Mewtwo understanding the meaning of life
Yeah, pretty much.
through an interaction of a boy turning into stone and revitalized by tears of cloned Pokemon. And,
And regular Pokemon.
And regular
They were-
Pokemon.
See, once Mewtwo took on his whole stance of like, you are all slaves, I will free you all, and then cleanse this earth, I was fucking down.
But
I loved it. And especially because it's like, yeah, no, they're literally these Pokemon are literally
But then
slaves
Mewtwo
to
didn't
these
take
kids.
that approach, and
No,
I
no.
got really confused
No,
because
no.
I thought that's what his mission
so
was.
you
and then all of a
Pokemon
sudden-
are all slaves. I'm going to cleanse you with my own slaves.
That's what I was like. Like, I'm glad you brought that up because seriously, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of a cool idea, and then it wasn't what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Like
no.
he said, well, I don't care about any of you. I just want more people like me.
Yeah, and
And
the whole concept is weird to me because it's like I loved when they go to fight Mewtwo's clones of like the Bulbasaur and the Charizard and whatever, and then they all these kids send their Pokemon in to fight. They're clearly gonna lose, and then, oh no, my Pokemon's hurt. It's like, oh yeah, really, your little gladiator's hurt, and
Shell shocker.
and I wrote down, don't pretend like you love him. He's your slave.
No, what I found funny was
But you
that
got
like
pissed at me when I said that.
No,
you were
no, what
so
I
mad
found
at me this
funny-
entire movie.
like with this
Sean,
is
my husband.
for the majority
Comma.
of the movie, they're like, we're gonna send these Pokemon to beat the shit out of each other using like fucking like fire and like fire hoses out of their backs and shit. And then when Mewtwo takes away all their special powers and they have to fight it out Mandingo style, suddenly everyone has a problem with it. Like,
Oh,
Because this is really, really random, but I'm assuming you guys watched the Justice League Unlimited animated series.
What is that?
Actually, did anyone else picture like when all the clones were fighting each other? Like Hawk Girl and the clone, and Bizarro and Superman. And I was like, so when are they going to switch partners and everyone's going to start winning? Like,
exactly.
That's what I was waiting for.
That's like old trope. They do that in Teen Titans.
See, that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, okay, when are they on a switch and like Pikachu's going to start fighting the other one and now they're going to start winning.
Bitch slapping.
I loved when it was
but then you
that's
where
that
gif of
Pikachu
bitch slapping the other
comes
Pikachu.
From.
Real quick, that was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
By far. Not even close.
What?
Pikachu bitch slapping the other Pikachu.
Bitch slapping the other Pikachu was by far... It made the movie worth it.
If I was a Pikachu watching it, I would have gotten turned
hadn't laughed that hard in a long time. It was... And then it starts crying. It's like, no!
Because it knows what emotions are by this point, right?
The whole movie is like PTSD, Stockholm Syndrome for these poor little Pokemon who are forced to fight. For these bullshit little kids. Like for these toddlers. Because Ash, how old is Ash? He's
10.
like 5.
10.
No, he's 5.
No, he's 10. You're 5.
I am.
No, you're 5.
You're 5.
Was it Mario?
Oh gosh!
No! Who are you?
Sound like Mario.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
You sloot.
Stop.
What?
No, just kidding. Sorry. Took it too far. Again.
I don't know. The fucking...
What are you trying to say?
Pokemon are terrible. The whole Pokemon thing's terrible. They
Shut
literally
up. You're
own
terrible.
these animal things. And
Animal things?
Fight.
Sean, why are you married to her? Dude, I also want to should give Mewtwo a shout out for that cloning lab. And give this bitch a fucking Nobel Prize for that.
Okay,
shit.
it totally stole from fucking Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, when they pop out of the little pod. That's literally how he pops out of the rhino.
Also,
Like,
you know what I'm talking about.
no, I get it. But like, also, so like, how did he? Because like,
how do you
how
clone
did
he
that
was
fast?
only in that lab for like 40 seconds
Yes.
before he blew it to bits.
In your quote from earlier, because he's psychic.
Psychic. He doesn't have to explain shit.
But
like,
being able to clone so quickly, like after scanning.
No. So
it
being
had
able to clone
been
so quickly.
6 weeks. Let's remember.
Yeah, I know. But
that's nearly 43 days.
But also, like what?
That's very surprisingly accurate. Anyway,
I mean, like 42. But anyway,
nearly 43.
Yeah, I know it's a joke. But no. What I was gonna say is the first lab, Mewtwo was the only clone who survived,
and they had these archaic methods.
What? And his were better, but it looked like identical.
Yeah.
But like, and so he's just like, oh, fucking clones, easy shit. Like,
yeah, because
look at this baby shit.
I mean, they imply that it took forever to get to his final.
Mewtwo is like the ultimate Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Who has identity issues? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked Mew more than I thought I would. Probably because Mew was really cute and
you
just
like cute things,
like bopping around like a little fairy. But didn't you say that they were inspired by fairies?
Well, it's a fairy type Pokemon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, Mew is a fairy type.
It's a psychic type.
It's psychic fairy. Look
Fuck
it up,
yourself.
son. I will look it up right now. I'm gonna do this.
If you're right, you get to fuck me.
Bend over, son. I'm going in raw dog.
As long as it's raw for sure.
Oh, children.
Hang in, kiddos. We're going explicit.
So
I think
I didn't
one of
ask
the...
for your opinion, phone.
Shut your whore mouth.
What's the deal with
No, you're
Pokemon
right.
and
Small
Ash?
psychic type.
Yeah, I know, because I'm a fucking nerd. And I spent.
Hey, I admit when I'm wrong.
Sean, he does have you beat. I've never seen you jump out of a car to go catch a Pokemon.
I think you were about to say.
Did you jump in a car?
He jumped out of my car.
How fast was the car going?
He made me stop so he could jump out.
Okay, so this was when the second generation came out, and there was a Togetic, which is Togepi's evolution. That annoying ass bitch Missy has, like that hoe. It was super rare, and I was like, hell no, I am about to pass up, which took up 40 of my.
Was that the little egg shell thing?
Yeah, the flying eggshell thing, which was a piece of shit to catch. All my nerd friends will know. Right, Justin Thompson? I hope you're listening. I love you.
Aren't all of her things shitty though? Like her Psyduck.
Fucking Psyduck.
I love Psyduck.
Psyduck is her favorite Pokemon now.
That makes a lot of
Psyduck.
sense.
Psyduck got me because that entire movie gave me a horrible headache, and I was literally like this the whole time because I had a horrible headache. I was like, oh, he's doing what I'm doing.
I can't.
I love Psyduck. But I feel like I like Psyduck because of Alex and Ludicolo. And I was literally like, is Ludicolo in this?
You know what Ludicolo is?
He's
Yeah.
Gen 2.
Gen 3.
Gen 3? Oh.
Get your life together.
My best friend in the entire world, Alexander Bevier, he loves Pokemon. And every December for Pokemon month, his is Ludicolo, and he does a Ludicolo dance. And so now it's like, that's the only Pokemon
that on his Nook is in one of the book
My
covers.
Nook now?
Yeah, 20,000 Ludicolos.
He literally does that.
Ludicolo.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was like, oh, it's another little duck thing, and it has a headache. But
I think
yeah, so many of the Pokemon didn't make sense to me. But I was glad you were there to explain them all to me, especially because you wrote that paper about them.
so. What it sounds like is that Bailey doesn't like anything about the movie.
No.
Name anything you liked about the movie. One thing.
Psyduck.
Well, okay, obviously.
Because my one thing was Pikachu slapping Pikachu. That was fantastic.
Actually, no, I'll
never forget that.
I loved Mew and Mewtwo's final battle because it reminded me of
Avatar?
1960s Adam West Batman fighting Christian Bale's Batman.
I thought of Avatar.
Micah, what was your favorite part of the movie?
So I think the favorite, all my favorite parts were Team Rocket coming in. Like they were the comic relief, but they were beautiful. Like from Jesse James and Meowth using a frying pan to stop Dragonite, who's an all powerful dragon Pokemon, and it's like, bitch, what you doing? Like they're lurking. What?
The rock dragon?
No.
Oh,
Dragonite is the orange dragon who dropped off the message at the beginning.
It was adorable and awesome and ponage.
Yeah, that was Parallax, right? The one.
Wait, Parallax? Was that a drug?
No, you're thinking of Gyarados. Parallax is the guy who eats planets, and so she saw his constantly open mouth as like fucking.
Parallax is DC's version
Just
of
a second,
Black.
I was always confused with Dragonite because I thought he was Charizard because he.
Oh my god! Kill me!
Kill
me! I'm gonna die.
And then he wasn't. Like he.
High five, Isaac.
Dragonite.
I don't want to support this.
The orange
Ignorance.
dragon.
Oh.
Yeah, dropped off the.
It
had the adorable little messenger
Like,
bag.
doesn't Dragonite start out as like some snake-looking thing?
Dragonite.
It starts out as Dragonair Dratini,
but it looks like a snake.
Dragonite looks like a Charizard, though.
I just remember I got really confused because I thought
up.
Dragonite and Charizard were a thing, and then I thought Dratini and Gyarados were a thing, and then I got really confused from there.
You don't have to get that close to it.
Okay. Well, it makes me feel better.
But
Sidebar, Micah's conversation.
But like, I don't know. Sorry, going back to the Dragonite, one thing that I always found weird is like, why send that? You could have just sent like a fucking Pidgey, like a literally messenger bird. It's like, no, I'm gonna fucking get this huge, imposing fucking dragon to send my mail.
If you've ever played the Pokemon games, are you going to run away from a Pidgey, or are you going to run away from a Dragonite?
You don't want them to run, though. You're delivering mail.
However, I will say I like that he chose to send a Dragonite because I feel like it fits Mewtwo's whole persona here.
Very, very like egotistical and like all powerful.
And then once again, he's like criticizing people. Oh, you have clones, or you have slaves.
There are a lot of
like,
problems with Mewtwo's character, but I just think it's funny. He's like, yeah, I'm going to send the freaking Dragonite to deliver my mail.
I thought the most hilarious thing was when Ash turned to stone and Pikachu kept sneezing to bring him back to life.
I couldn't get over Pikachu sneezing. It was weird.
Oh, Sean, tell us.
Going Pikachu. Shit joke.
So Bailey sucks. That's very much confirmed by this
I don't
podcast.
like Pokemon.
We're talking about small animals fighting each other.
Yeah, real shit.
I wish.
Why do they never fight back? Like, why do they just let them capture you? Like, why don't they just like...
No, it's because you literally beat them into submission and then you capture them. And then they get a crazy case of Stockholm
Do they ever
syndrome.
show episodes where they beat the people trying to catch them into submission? And then...
Not, like...
Or do they always get captured? Do any of them ever escape?
They're subservient always.
Yeah, no. Well, first off, in the movie, Ash's Charizard fucking hates him.
True, he didn't listen to him at all.
Yeah, no, like
That
and
was
that
the
was
best.
like the majority of the Pokemon. So
Ash is
it's
such
pretty
a
much
little punk.
yeah, no, like
Punk
the whole thing of
10-year-old.
Pokemon like catching is you go out into the wild with your own Pokemon, you beat the shit out of those Pokemon with your Pokemon, and once they're really weak, you throw the Pokeball so they can't get out of the
I'm
Pokemon.
with adults.
Like,
This is too much.
well, I'm sorry, am I wrong? Do you not Michael Vick the shit out of these wild animals? Like,
Thank
know-
you for the sports reference. I really appreciate that.
that's not really sports.
Well,
it's a guy who
Let's-
does
it's a guy
the
who
sports
was
balls.
in-
But
Let's be a cynical adult about a fucking child film. All right, let's do that.
I'm sorry. Let's watch another kids movie, Grave of the Fireflies. Let's try to be innocent about that.
That's not really a children's movie.
I know it's a joke about animation as a general.
Oh, well, then you suck at joking, because that went right over my head.
Oh. Have you seen Grave of the Fireflies?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's a movie where you literally watch two Japanese kids starve to death. It's pretty fun.
That sounds horrible.
It's pretty
Yeah, then one dies.
hilarious.
And one of them died.
No, they both die. At the
Oh,
beginning of
that's
the
right.
movie, you watch the second one
It's been
die.
a while
At the
since-
beginning-
Oh,
The
Yeah, they
best
both
thing about Grave of the Fireflies is it was released as a double feature with My Neighbor Totoro.
It was really interesting is that neither of the movies are what we're trying to talk about tonight.
That's true.
So,
And yet, how much time did we talk about Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, we've only gone off for like 2 minutes here.
no. We, like I said, last time, we went way off topic way more often.
That's what we do, bruh.
I'm alright with it.
jabronis.
Bruh.
Jabronis.
God, every time you say that, I just remember for about, like,
how
a year,
old
4chan
were-
filtered the word faggot
How
to
old
jabroni
was
whenever you
Misty,
typed it.
Brock, and
Just like
Ash
how it filtered
supposed
the
to be?
N-word to Rudy Poo.
I think
Like-
Missy's supposed to be like 12 or 13, and Brock's supposed to be like 14.
And what's their whole story?
Brock is the older brother type figure. He used to be the leader of the rock type gym.
But the first gym,
Is he the
he's
one
like
that's
the
blind?
eldest of
Yeah,
like
no,
9
he just has
kids
really
because
good eyes. It's
his
racist.
father was Catholic.
Okay.
He's supposed to be from Okinawa.
And then
I was
his,
gonna say,
his dad left
his
on
eyes
his
were
own
just
Pokemon
never
journey
open.
Yeah,
and
no,
left all 9 of his kids
it's 8
in
hours,
Brock's
like-
care,
Yeah, I
which
got it.
is not really good parenting. That was like one of like the first
What,
few
So
letting
episodes.
is-
10-year-olds run out in the wild and...
So
No,
is-
you're
oh,
totally missed my
So
comment.
it's
That's
like
fine.
being a Pokemon catcher, like the same, the equivalent of like my dad went to the store for cigarettes and never came back.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's what happened to
Yeah.
Ash's dad, methinks.
Well, there's that reigning theory that Giovanni's his dad and all that.
Or Professor Oak?
No, I don't think that one's...
Oh, no, that was Professor Oak having it in with Delia.
Yeah.
Alright, Ash's mom. That's cool.
Also, is
And
Ash's
then-
mom fucking Mr. Mime? Like, what's going on there?
Mr. Mime, I think, is actually female.
So many names, I don't know.
Mr. Mime is literally a Pokemon that's just a fucking mime. Like, that's it. Like,
So wait, you're saying Ash's mom and a Pokemon...
or fucking. Yeah, because, so, Ash's dad is not in the picture anymore. He's gone. There's a lot of theories of where he's gone. They say, oh, he's off to be a Pokemon
He's
master.
with Zuko's mom.
She's fucking dead. Anyway.
Basically.
Anyway. While...
I'm trying to make this fun for
Yeah.
both Isaiah and
Well,
I.
no.
I
So
appreciate it.
while Ash is going doing fuck all, literally Ash's mom has like a maid or a maid who is a Pokemon is Mr. Mime, and literally all he says Mr. Mime, and he fucking sweeps and shit. And it's like
Right,
there's
right.
no way they're not fucking. Like,
But I think her Mr. Mime is female.
what? You check under the skirt? Like, I don't. Like,
I can't with
Okay,
you.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
like, how did you verify that? But anyway, yeah, whatever.
Anyway, so how did we get to that point?
We were talking about
was
Brock. We were talking about Brock.
Yeah, so Brock's dad, who had 9 kids with an unknown mother who went off on his own Pokemon journey and never came back, and Brock is 14 with 8 younger siblings.
And he just
Misty-
said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna go."
Misty
go
is redheaded because she has red hair, obviously. And
She's a filthy
she's
kid.
the youngest of the 4 cerulean. Her older sisters are like sorority girls who don't give a shit about anything and they're bitches. And like, she's like
She's
the
literally
soulless child.
she's following Ash around for the entire fucking series under the pretense.
When do they get together?
Never.
They
Oh,
never
okay.
do.
But she's
I was getting
following.
a vibe there.
No, it's a constant. Well, they won't.
It's one-sided
It's
from
never
Misty.
resolved.
And yeah.
But no, she's following Ash around the entire fucking series under the pretense of in the first episode, Ash breaks her bike, and so she's like, "Oh, you owe me for that bike. Yeah, I'm gonna get my bike back." And that literally the entire series, and Ash is like, "I'm not. I'll get it to you eventually," and fucking just drags her on the whole series.
It's like Inuyasha, but worse.
Yeah,
Literally, I I kept thinking that Ash was like way younger than he's supposed to be,
No, he's like
and then
10.
Misty and Brock were way older.
Nah.
But you said Misty was supposed to be like 16 and Brock was supposed to be
No.
like 18.
No,
I
12,
thought-
13.
Okay.
And then Brock's like maybe 13, 14.
I
He's
thought Brock, he was supposed to be like at least 16.
No.
Once again, I'm gonna look this shit up.
Oh my
That's a
god,
good
like,
idea.
I guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, like,
because
I
this
just
has been
need
my life for the last
verification.
20
Yeah,
years.
Sean,
in
you're
the
being a
internet
dick.
age,
Hey,
I
there's
need
nothing
verification.
wrong with verification. I'm with Sean on this one.
I have my
If you're
master's
so
degree in
sure, we
Pokemon.
can
Like,
just
come
double
on.
check.
Did your thesis?
My thesis was on why y'all suck for not liking this movie.
Like I said, I didn't
You implied it.
dislike the movie. I
Go
just
take
did
that
not
candy
appreciate
dildo
as
and
much.
suck on it. No, actually, don't do that. It's really cool.
I really love. I did
15 as of debut.
I did like how
Verification.
the emotional that it got to when all the Pokemon were fighting. Stop them. I did like that.
I thought it was funny when they all stopped fighting. They were all somehow laying side by side next
They
to
were
each other.
tired.
It was because they were all beating up their respective.
But it's
All
like,
my
I
ladies
just-
get
I just thought it was
information.
funny because like they were all fighting, and then all of a sudden they're all laying down, like in the exact same position.
You
All
know
of them.
why?
They were tie-tie.
Because they were forced to fight because they're slaves and they didn't really want to. Terrible message.
So they were like pit bulls.
Yeah, once again,
Michael
Michael
Vick.
Vick jokes.
Right.
Once again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
I think we were making that joke.
Yeah, no,
Joke
we
movie.
made that joke constantly.
How long
Like,
did he go to prison? Like 2 years? 2.5?
Not even that.
Longer than this dick.
1.5?
Just kidding. That's not.
You want me to-
Verification.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's-
So
We're
Ash
verifying
should,
how long
Ash should
Michael
be in
Vick went
jail
to
for
prison.
how long? For
Oh, it's so.
I just
oh my
wish
God.
that my tiers could be used to revitalize things, like my GPA or my grades from last week's assignment, if I were in school.
I was gonna say you're not in school.
Well, that's why I said if I were in school. If implying if, hypothetically, in a specific place or time. Why am I going on this tangent?
548 days.
It's a little over a year.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a little.
Like, so many dogs. Like, he fucking just killed them, and he's just like, under
Yeah.
a year, go back to playing football. Like,
Wouldn't you have loved it if it like in his like court hearing, be like, "Hey man, Pokemon did it." Like, it's just
I just grew up on
fuck.
Is
Pokemon.
Kanye the judge like that? Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but Pokemon did it.
Oh, fuck.
And
What, Sean?
Well, that just hurt. Like,
Oh. I thought you were trying to get everyone's attention.
no. Like I said, this podcast is going to be a majority of me and Micah
Yeah.
just disappointedly sighing.
Bailey
and
Like,
I-
disappoint.
saw it coming.
coming,
We-
phrasing.
Have little to contribute.
Yeah, 3 out of 10 apply yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
it was
I-
interesting. I feel like maybe I would probably like if I watched the show first. I mean, it was weird tonally the entire beginning of it with Mewtwo becoming Mewtwo, and then when it cut to Ash and them, it felt like a completely different thing. So like, was Mewtwo just that whole thing kind of, is that the vibe at all with the cartoon? Like it gets dark like that?
No, the cartoon itself, the anime, it stays relatively. I think it's more based
Light?
on the game. The game was a little bit more. It had very many dark.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Dark
the manga,
components.
holy shit. They straight up
The
killed
manga they had. Oh,
That's
manga's
dark
crazy
shit.
too. Yeah, it's
The manga is always
Like, an Arbok
crazy.
gets straight up cut in half.
cut in half, but
Fucked
somehow
up.
comes back. I think.
No,
They're
no.
Like
sewed up
Frieza.
together.
No, he fucking dies.
Oh, okay,
He stays
well-
dead.
Yeah, you see that meat slab of Arbok in that one manga. Anyway,
Pokemon.
So lost.
Yeah. Again, the recording was cut short due to technical difficulties, but hopefully this won't happen again. Next week, we will be watching and discussing the David Lynch surreal classic Blue Velvet from 1986. My pick. Hopefully the guys like it, but if not, it'll be great to hear their input on it. Hope you can join us. All right, bye.
Mordor, punch Sauron in the mouth, and walk out with the one ring as a cock ring,
oh yeah.
but he doesn't
Delicious.
give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
he just doesn't care.
No.
All right.
But he
No.
would care about the fact
Sounds
that
like a badass.
the
No,
oven just went off.
Sean
and we need pizza.
is going off of what he knows from a Cracked article. I actually read the fucking book.
I like fact articles.
Yeah,
No.
Character is where it's at.
No. They're
Tom
like the Huffington
Bombadil,
Post.
they spend probably 100 pages with him on the way, like, between the Shire and the next place they're supposed to go, the Prancing Pony.
Okay.
Like, literally. And they spend 100 pages with this fuck.
Literally.
And he just pops up out of the ground, and he's just larger than life, and he's magic, and he can literally be anywhere, and he's all powerful. And so at the whole council thing where they're figuring out what to do with the ring, which I was told not to read, but I read it anyway because I'm an idiot, and they're like, why don't we give the ring to Tom Bombadil? He will surely, keep it safe. And then literally someone's like, yeah, but he'd probably just grow bored and just throw it away, and then we'd be in this all over again. And then he's never heard of again. He's this literal all-powerful character.
And he just doesn't give a shit.
So very pacifistic.
Okay.
Not even pacifist. It's just he doesn't care.
Oh, well. Man and another
wish I could
man
tell.
love each other very much. They have sex. That's what a sex.
So which
joke
one of
is
your
referring-
penises opens to accept the other's penis?
Well, we have what we call a urethra, and we flip a coin.
Okay.
See, Sean, you've gone from ripping off the Office's jokes, now go to the Borat joke, where you put a little mouse in it.
Oh, there we go. Wait, am I supposed to be stealing Borat jokes now?
Yeah.
Oh, you never get this. You never get this. And one night he broke out of his cage and he got it. You haven't seen Borat? Micah is making a terrified face.
Borat? Can you use it in a sentence?
It's Sacha Baron Cohen pretending to be a guy from Kazakhstan.
No, bro. No, I'm straight.
You're trying too hard.
I like how you crossed your fingers while
I'm
you
hella
said that, by the way. Like, I'm hella straight.
Anyway,
Do it, hetero.
Okay.
jabroni.
Well,
Also pizza.
Also pizza. Thanks.
Oh my god.